Chasing Gains Radio, the insatiable quest for constant progression. Chasing is the act of pursuing. Gains is the result or positive outcome. Chasing Gains Radio. Here's your host, Cody McAuliffe. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on the very first episode of Chasing Gains Radio. I'm your host, Cody McAuliffe. Got a really special guest today. He's going to actually be interviewing me. So he's a PNBA pro athlete in 2 divisions, so that's pretty good, in fitness and physique. He's just achieved some amazing results in last season, about to be going over to the World Championships in Vegas for the Natural Olympia. So everybody welcome Josh Shultz.
Thanks guys, cheers. Good nice intro.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on the show, Josh. So Josh is actually going to be doing a quick interview of me, just to start off with. So during the radio station, we're going to be doing a lot of interviewing of the experts in the fitness industry, kind of spreading their word and their message that they're trying to get through to help change the fitness industry. So today, Josh is just going to be doing a quick interview of me. So thanks for doing that, Josh.
Mate, the first question is, what does chasing gains mean to you?
Okay, cool. If we just look at the terminology behind it, then we look at chasing, which is kind of the act of pursuing something. So it's the pursuit of something that we're working towards, and the gains is the result or the outcome of that. So it's the goal that we're kind of working towards and getting that outcome.
Okay, so that's cool. So why have you started chasing gains?
So chasing gains is just basically my way of being able to have that positive impact on the fitness industry. So the fitness industry kind of has the potential to solve a lot of the world's problems through health. So if we look at the health problems in the world at the moment, diabetes is on the increase, adolescent obesity is on the increase, cancer is on the increase, everything's increasing, and the people are just starting to die earlier and earlier. So I find that the fitness industry could be the solution to that, because we're on the front line. If you look at doctors and stuff like that, they're just going to be treating sickness rather than being on the forefront and trying to prevent all of these things. So we're getting to a stage where all these diseases and stuff are on the increase when they should be on the decrease. When we're learning more and more and more about science, we should be working on decreasing this rather than increasing the rate at which people are getting these diseases. So I think the fitness industry is definitely going to be the solution to this, because it's on the forefront. Like, if you see a personal trainer or something, you can see them for a lot longer period of time than you can see a doctor or something. Doctor's appointments are normally under 10 minutes. If they go any longer than 10 minutes, then they normally have to take their kids out of private school. So it just means that they only have a certain amount of time to be able to deal with the general population. So the fitness industry is going to be that forefront, because they can spend a lot more time with people. They normally spend like an hour with someone, and they're going to be changing people's habits that are kind of causing all of these problems. So their lack of exercise, their lack of movement, poor postural problems, poor nutritional habits, poor associations, all of these things can be improved by the fitness industry. At the moment, the fitness industry is more of a kind of vanity industry rather than a health industry. So people see a personal trainer to get drop a couple of kilos, fit into a certain dress size, or jump on stage. That's the only reason why they kind of see a personal trainer at the moment. A lot of people don't have that kind of health focus, and that's kind of a change that I want to make in the fitness industry. Yes, there is always going to be the place for those kind of goals, and those kind of goals are going to improve your health. However, that should not be the only reason people see personal trainers or anyone else in the fitness industry, whether it be a coach, a nutritionist, anyone like that. You just need to change that focus from that aesthetic and vanity-based training through to health, fitness, and longevity as well. So that's kind of why I started Chasing Gains. It's just that medium to be able to get my message out there, to be able to help change that and kind of have it moving more in the right direction. So eventually decreasing the rate at which people are getting diabetes, adolescent diabetes, cancers, and all this kind of thing through nutrition and exercise. So it's just the medium to be able to do that.
Okay, fantastic. Now, look, you mentioned the fitness industry quite a bit there.
Yep.
How did you get started in the fitness industry, buddy?
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I started in the fitness industry. Been in the industry coming on 6 years now. So I used to, I was always playing sports in high school and everything like that. I was into a lot of cardio. I was genetically a runner. I could run all day and all night, basically. Did a lot of sprinting, long distance stuff, and I was always good at that. And that was just kind of how I just got into the exercise. After school, I moved more into kind of a little bit of weight training because I had a few injuries, a few knee problems and stuff like that, ankle problems, heaps of problems really.
Yep.
So moved more into kind of gym-based stuff. At that time, I was kind of working in hospitality as well. So I was working long hours and on my feet all day. So I didn't really have that much time to be exercising too much. So it wasn't that healthy a lifestyle. And then to get into the industry, it got to a point of decision when I was working in bars. There was this bar that I actually worked in where these two guys came in. They came in a couple times a week, probably like 4 or 5 times a week. And they had a corporate account with the bar that I worked in. So their corporate account was basically my salary. It was like 40 or 50 grand a year that they would spend in that one bar every year. So I could just see them getting fatter and fatter and fatter and unhealthy and unhealthy and unhealthier. They had bad relationships. They had bad health. They were just basically destroying their bodies, and I was basically a part of that. And it got to a point where I just got sick of being a part of that, and I kind of didn't want to have that effect on the world. I didn't want to be someone who just helped people get drunk and fat all the time. So obviously I just moved into the opposite direction, where kind of doing the opposite, trying to help people with their health and fitness and make that positive impact on the world. So decided to do my PT course. Did that while I was working in a bar, and eventually moved into just helping people and trying to get those results, the opposite of what I was doing when I was working in hospitality. So that's how I kind of got my start in the fitness industry.
Yeah, look, that's awesome, mate. Fantastic. Now, look, tell us what you've done since you started in the fitness industry and become a personal trainer.
Yep, cool. Yeah, so when I first started in the industry, I started working in a commercial gym. So it's just working with basically anyone that I could, anyone who wanted me to train them. I didn't really have much of a niche to start off with. Moved more into a couple of niches, which I'll go into in a second. But when I first started out in the industry, I kind of just thought I knew quite a bit. And over time, I kind of realised how much I don't actually know about the fitness industry, about movement, about exercise, about nutrition. And I've kind of had a passion for continuing my education and learning more the longer I've been in the industry. So I've been in the industry about 6 years now. I've probably done more continuing education in the last 12 months than I have basically every year combined before that. And I think that's going to increase over the next couple of years as well. I've just got a passion for learning more, learning all new skills in every aspect of exercise and nutrition. So I'm always trying to upskill, learn as much as I can from the best in the industry, which is kind of why I started this podcast as well. So I can kind of learn from the experts in the industry who are trying to share their message and make a change themselves, and also share that at the same time. So I don't want to just keep all that great information to myself. I want to kind of share that as well. I work with either rehab people, so a lot of people will come to me wanting like a body fat outcome or something like that, and their movement patterns are just not in a position to be able to do that. They're at a high risk of injury, and I just need to get them through like a kind of rehab process. While they're doing this, they're going to get great results to start off with, but to be able to push their bodies to the limits, they're just not at that point yet to be able to do that safely. So I have to take them through a rehab process to be able to get them moving more effectively, functionally, have their posture a lot better, so that when we do work them out at a high intensity, they can actually get those results and not risk injury, which is kind of the basis of quite a few of my clients that I have. So I've got those. I move into more training athletic populations as well. So whether that's athletes who are looking for kind of strength and performance outcomes, or if they're looking for body fat outcomes, like people who are looking at jumping on stage for bikini, physique, figure, bodybuilding competitions, to be able to get some amazing results through that as well. So they're the kind of clients that I kind of see and focus on now. If there's someone who's looking more at into CrossFit kind of training or something, I'll generally refer them to someone else. I can give them performance outcomes that they're looking for with their strength goals, However, if they're looking specifically at something that's kind of out of my realm, I'm more than happy to refer them on to someone else in the industry who's got a better skill set to be able to deal with those people. That's kind of what I've been doing in the fitness industry so far.
Mate, that's awesome. Sounds like you've been doing a lot of upskilling recently and looking at progressing quite a bit over the next few years as well.
Yeah.
Mate, tell us, what do you want to see change in the fitness industry?
Well, as I said, the fitness industry's got that potential to be able to solve a lot of the world's problems, but it's just not really living up to its potential at the moment. So we've just got to see some changes around that to be able to kind of see that result and live up to its potential. So just live up to that potential. So the biggest thing I kind of want to see is upskilling by a lot more trainers. So the level of trainers that kind of come out of the registered training organisations that are out there at the moment is very, very minimal. Having worked and been a campus director at one of these training organisations, you can kind of see the lack of skill set that they actually have. So I kind of have a passion for getting trainers upskilled as much as possible so that they can learn more, so that they can teach their clients more and be the front line to be able to make those changes. At the moment, like, you can't really blame like all of the general population because they just don't know what a good coach is, the difference between a good coach and a bad coach, and what they should actually be doing that's specific to their goals. And the problem is the frontline trainers, the majority of the trainers in the industry don't have enough experience, they don't have enough knowledge that they can be able to help the person that they've got in front of them to have the specific knowledge to be able to get them to the result that they're looking for. So looking back at my kind of career in the fitness industry, I look back at some of the clients that I first had and I can kind of see a lot of things that I actually did wrong. And kind of, if I had the skills that I had now when I had the client when I first started, I would have got a lot different result with them and a lot more results for them as well. So if I had the knowledge, the skills, the experience that I had now when I first started in the industry, then I would have made such a much bigger difference to the fitness industry and had much more of a positive outcome from that as well. So my changes that I want to see for the fitness industry is just upskilling trainers and giving more knowledge to the general population as well on what is a good trainer, what they should be looking for, and all the information that is shared with trainers should be shared with the clients as well so that they can learn more as well. That way, if they know more about what they should be doing that's specific to them, then they're going to be able to get the results they're looking for.
That's awesome. Fantastic. I completely understand where you're coming from and definitely agree on all fronts there about the upskilling. So, look, based on that, how does Chasing Gains fit into it all?
So Chasing Gains is just my way of being able to do that. So the whole point of creating a podcast is to be able to educate A, the trainers, and B, general population people as well. So we're looking at getting the top level experts on to be able to share their message. So I don't claim to be an expert on anything really. I just try and educate myself as best as I can on all the different aspects in the fitness industry. But there are experts out there who are the absolute top in the industry that have a lot more knowledge and skills than the majority of other people. So if I can get in contact with those people, get them on the podcast, get them sharing what their message is, what their kind of why is, why they're trying to change the fitness industry, then we can get that information out there to A, the trainers who are the front line, and then the actual general population people as well, and have that massive change on the fitness industry. So if we don't have that information that's going to be specific to specific people, then it's just a whole lot of generic information from people who don't necessarily know what they're talking about. So a lot of people, when they first start out in the industry, just don't have that experience and that knowledge to be able to do that. If they can increase that knowledge and even learn even more, then they're going to be able to apply that with their clients, their own training. They're going to start leading by example a lot more, which is a big problem with the fitness industry. We've got too many trainers and people who don't actually follow what they say. They just smash booze on the weekends, eat unhealthy food all the time without the right context of it. So they're just smashing burgers all day, every day. It's alright if you have like it within the context of your overall nutrition. However, they just don't have that healthy kind of lifestyle, and it's not really inspiring to like the general public to be able to change that. You've also got like a kind of mentality of new trainers in the industry of it's all about smashing their clients. If they can get their client to spew, that's a great result for their session. That's kind of not what we're looking for. We're looking to try to get outcomes for the general public that they're actually looking for. They've got to have like a high level of motivation to actually return to train. If they're just going to be getting smashed, they're too sore to be able to train again the next day. Yes, they're going to get a little bit of a high from the workout, but they're not going to want to come back. And that's the whole thing. The whole point of the fitness industry should be getting people into healthy habits. A habit is something that you do over time, not just something that you just do for 4 weeks here just to drop an extra 2 kilos for some kind of event. We want to have the trainers be looking to help people create those habits around exercise and healthy eating habits to be able to make a proper change in their life for their entire life rather than just that short-term kind of result. So I'm really looking forward to getting a lot of those experts in the fitness industry. So we've got a fair few people lined up already. So we've got 6 or 7 episodes booked out already, which is great. We've started recording a couple of the podcasts as well. So we've got Lane Norton's coming on for the next one, which is great. So we've already done his interview. Be throwing that up in the next week or so. So he's obviously one of the top people in the industry. He's got a PhD in biochemistry and he's a professional powerlifter and bodybuilder, which is very, very hard to do. Be kind of the top in the world in 2 kind of levels, 2 kind of categories. So it's just the same as you, Josh. You're doing quite well in 2 categories. It's extremely difficult and extremely rare to be able to do. So only like the top kind of absolute top athletes can actually do that. So having him on and both you on to be able to interview me is a real kind of pleasure to be able to have that experience and that broad knowledge base as well. So it's just really beneficial, and we've got a couple more people booked in. Just need to confirm the order that they're going to come on in, but we're going to have Coach Keegan coming through, Darren Bruce. I've got a few other people booked in as well, a couple of chiropractors and people like that as well, who are going to be talking on what they're kind of passionate about and what they're seeing with their clients and the kind of results that they're kind of getting as well with positively impacting the fitness industry and how they want to kind of do that as well. So it's going to have to be like a combined effort of heaps and heaps and heaps of different kind of allied health professionals, personal trainers, coaches, everyone kind of working together to have that positive impact on the fitness industry, which is going to lead on to having that positive impact on the world, worldwide as well. So that's kind of how Chasing Gains kind of fits into that. So that's just kind of going to be the overview for today of what Chasing Gains is. So thanks for those questions, Josh. That's going to be the first episode done and dusted. So if anyone actually has any questions about the Chasing Gains or anything like that, they can contact me directly on Facebook. So it's just Cody McAuliffe. I'll have all the links there on my personal Facebook or Facebook /Chasing Gains. Got a couple of different pages as well. So all of those links are going to be on the link to this podcast. Again, this is just an overview of kind of what we're working towards, what the goal is, why we're doing it, and how we're going to do it as well. So it's been a great first episode here, nice and short, just to kick into it. And if you're looking at following a great athlete in the fitness industry as well, be sure to follow Josh on Instagram and Facebook and support him in his attempts to take on the world in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks. So it's going to be great to see him there. I'm going to be posting the link to the live stream to that as well on this podcast as well. So there's a live stream you can watch directly for seeing all the best athletes in the world in INBA competing against each other to get some amazing results. So really looking forward to watching Josh there. And thanks again, Josh, for interviewing me. I really appreciate your time, and it'll be great to have you on again in the future as well.
No worries, buddy. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Chasing Gains Radio. Just living the dream, you know how it is.
The old dream, yeah. No, I don't need you to explain that one. I'll live that myself.
Sweet. Thank you for listening to Chasing Gains Radio. Be sure to use the Chasing Gains Radio hashtag on all social media. If you have any questions, queries, or comments about the podcast, use this hashtag. Thanks again for listening to Chasing Gains Radio. Be sure to share and like this podcast to help spread the Chasing Gains movement.